Problem Is by Conchitina R. Cruz. Here the quick facts about Conchitina Cruz. Conchitina Cruz teaches creative writing and the literature of the University of the Philippines in Diliman. Her books of poetry includes Dark Hours, Elwes, Hill, and Lingard. And Here Is No Emergency. She earned her PhD in English from State University of UNER. Sunny Albani. She is part of the Small Presses High Chair and the Youth and Beauty Bridge. And she helps run the Small Press Expo Better Living through 00 Grappy VLTX. As of now, she has already won 2 Palancan Awards, which is one of the most prestigious awards giving body of literature in the Philippines. From her work, Second Skin is 1996 and The Shortest Distance in 2001. Moreover, she also won the Philippines National Book Award from Poetry for her book Dark Hours in 2006. That's all.
The title of this poem, Problem Is, alerts readers to the fact that the verse is very simple to the point where you must read and understand the poetry very well, as the poem presenting the life and living condition of a poor society without directly asserting the definite problem is. Additionally, one of the worst characteristics of a Filipino people has been described in the story. As the poetry is about social obstacles in the Philippines, primarily poverty and overpopulation, it has a deep meaning that it can only be understood by reading it several times.
Psychological criticism examines a work of literature mainly as a fictitious reflection of the author's character, frame of consciousness, emotions, and desire. Psychoanalytic critics believe that a work of literature is linked to its author's mental characteristics, the psychological lens through which a writer's work is viewed. This method examines the authors of the work or a character in it from a psychological standpoint. There is no such thing as a single area of psychoanalytic literary criticism. All types then acknowledge, at least in some ways, that literature is essentially connected with the psyche.
Criticism. A Marxist critic bases theory and practice on Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels' cultural and economic theories, particularly on how historical changes in the fundamental mode of production affect essential changes in the constitution and power relations of social classes, which is engaged in a struggle for economic, political, and social benefit, and on how human consciousness in any era is constituted by an ideology that is a system of ideas. So, beliefs, values, and methods of thoughts and feeling so that humans use to comprehend and interpret what they believe to be reality. The poem is written in the first person point of view and contains 9 stanzas. The word we in we used to do and call are such typical greetings belongs to the lyrical period genre. The author tries to tell the idea that given the fact that some Filipinos' lives have been lightened by poverty, there is still a means to get by everything.
Neocriticism. Neocriticism examines a text exclusively on a basic text itself. Neocriticism ignores historical, biographical, cultural, and other external aspects in favor of internal circumstances. Nomenclatures, story, substances, dictions, settings, structures, styles, subjects, and literary devices are only few techniques investigated by new criticism. The historical and cultural settings of the text, according to new critics, are also useless. The variety and degree of some literary devices, such as metaphor, irony, tensions, and contradictions, were highlighted by new critics. New critics emphasize close reading as a method of connecting with a book, and they were particularly interested in the relation between form and content. The instructions and meaning of the text, according to new critics, are inextricably linked and should be not evaluated independently. The author's intention, historical and cultural settings, and moralistic prejudice from their study in order to return literary studies' attention to a text analysis. Reader response analysis. Reader response analysis focuses on the receptions of the text through the various lenses of its readers, rather than the author or other external elements of the text. Each reader response analysis is unique, depending on the reader's knowledge and experience as well as how they interpret the text. With a few poems being read along. The poem as a whole is a sociological reflection in the societal evils in the Philippines, particularly overcrowding and poverty. That the reader's role in interpreting literature cannot be overlooked, and that reader do not possibly guess the meaning supplied to them by an object, literary text. Rather, they actively create the meaning they discovered in literature.